I was wondering if you could share maybe some of your because my dad now, it's not only YouTube and it's not only college campuses. My dad's workplace has been overrun by the wokesters, and he's got to get
Wow.
lectured
Oh
on
my
transgender
goodness.
theory and Marxism. But I was hoping, not Marxism. I added that one in. I was hoping he could. It's all the same thing. I was hoping he could come in and maybe share some of his PG-13 rated college stories because I've heard you tell me things ranging from a guy was so drunk that he had to drive on the train tracks because going straight was physically impossible. I also heard about a guy who would buzz the campus. Well, I want the guy who buzzed the campus in a biplane and dropped water balloons on people too.
Jesus.
It's kind of
He's
badass.
extremely wealthy, this guy.
Which one are we telling right
I'm
now?
gonna tell the
Well, what I will say, you were so hyped on the railroad story a second ago. Which one involves more debauchery? Wait, I like the plane guy though because he's the guy who sawed the bar in half, right?
That's the thing. The bar. Okay, so
All
this
right,
guy
let's
is
hear
just wild, and he's a couple 3 years or so older than I am. Yeah, he's extremely wealthy. He drives. He has a Cadillac, money to burn. He drives it into Lake Tahoe. Just goes right down the beach and drives it into the lake. He's drunk as hell.
Into the water.
Into the water. He just does
Wow.
crazy shit. Well, we had this annual celebration at the campus at University of Nevada. There was a great miner that way back in the Comstock days, a guy named John Mackey. They opened up the School of Mines at the university way back when in the 1800s. And they have Mackey days. And it's kind of like a Wild West day and stuff. And people literally carried guns on campus and with blanks and with real guns and would shoot blanks and stuff. Anyway, so
Wow.
it is crazy. It's crazy time. He buzzes the campus it's like a Cessna. It's a single wing plane. Throwing water balloons, drunk as shit, throwing water balloons. I mean, down
Oh
low,
my
just
God.
buzzing the campus. Yeah, he's just crazy guy. At any rate, he goes after he's done doing that. We had a large population of Native Americans in the Reno area, the Washoe Indians, Paiute Indians.
That's this sensitivity training has taught my dad to say Native Americans and not
Gotcha.
Asian.
Engines.
Anyway,
Gotcha.
and a lot of them were guys in fraternities with me and stuff like that, good people. But there was a local pub that was downtown that was inhabited largely by from one of the tribes. They had their reservation, a little spot in downtown Reno near one of the casinos, and they had a pub nearby. So they're in there drinking. This guy goes in and he's just shit-faced out of his mind. The rich guy. And so he's done playing buzz, and he goes down and he's drinking in the bar, and he tells everybody he's going to fight him and stuff. Pulls out a chainsaw, cuts the frickin' bar in half. It's a true story.
Jesus.
Cuts it in half. He's got all the guys cornered with a chainsaw, and it runs out of gas.
Oh.
Kicked the living shit out of him.
Oh,
I saw him the
God.
next day. He was on crutches. They kicked the living hell out. And he deserved it. He deserved it. He got the living shit knocked out of him and stuff. Just on
Holy
that point,
shit.
they
Wow.
used to have in Fallon, Nevada, there's a military base and stuff, but there's also a tribal reservation nearby. And they used to have an Indian rodeo that was all Indians. So it was all Native American people that would do it and had a bar. And it was wild. And no cops would show up. They had their own tribal police there. I go with a couple buddies of mine that I was in a club with them. They called them the Sundowners. But anyway, I go with these guys. They were Native Americans. And they take me down there because they would mock us whites and say, you guys don't know how to drink. You get drunk for a day or two. But they get drunk for months. They would stay drunk for months. And so they would go down to and the rodeo was just fucking fun. I mean, you see the rodeos on TV. The guy gets bucked off. These guys that get bucked off, they'd be hung up in the saddle or hung up on the bull, and it'd be just dragging them all over the fucking arena, just drunk out of their minds, and people pouring beer on them. It was wild.
Oh
anyway,
my God.
they get in these fights in the bars and shit, and it was just busted bottles, knives. It was crazy stuff.
Oh my God.
But they took care of us. They protected us, my buds, because they were, don't kill the white guys.
Yeah.
Don't kill the pussies.
Well, let me ask you this, Dad, because I feel like when I was in college, there were a lot of 3 a.m. calls placed to you about various emergencies.
Yeah.
Dad, I would say, or Dad, I just kicked the shower head off in the Beta Theta Pi bathroom. It flooded. I need $600 was one of them. Or I just got in a fight with a bouncer. Or, most notoriously, I just snuck into Lambda Chi and flooded the entire basement. And now disciplinary board is looking to charge me 13 grand. When I would make these calls to you, you would act upset, but I could hear the underlying tone of understanding and maybe even pride. Where you, because compared to you in those times, it was a pussy. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. That's accurate. It is mild,
Yeah.
but it's a different time too. They'd be putting you in jail. Where I mean, I had friends that just he went and busted out all kinds of car windows with a tire iron.
Wow.
Because some gay men were showing they liked it. And so everybody was giving my friend shit. And so he decided to get revenge on the gay guys because he wasn't gay, even though the gay guys did nothing wrong. And we had a gay cook at the fraternity and stuff like that. And there was gay guys in the So this guy, Dean, goes and he busts out all the windows. So what do the police do? They bring him back to the fraternity, and it's on a Sunday when all the mothers are there. They have a special day for all the mothers. All the mothers there, and he is shit-faced. They don't arrest him. They just pour him out the back of the cop car in front of the fraternity. He gets up and urinates, not knowing that all of the mothers, including his mother, in these big picture windows, standing aghast, looking out the window. Yeah. So that's how they treated stuff back then and did things.
I got a way to treat that. I think if you like when you catch your kid smoking, you make him smoke a pack of cigarettes so he doesn't want to do it anymore. You catch a guy committing anti-gay hate crimes, you make him blow a pack of gays. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I don't want to go too far here, Ned.
Now, I'm curious.
A gay cook that was wonderful, Cliff, and we all loved him. He was a good guy. And we stole a bunch of high school floats, and there was the college was having its a big university day, and they take all the floats, and I swear it's just like if you saw the old movie Animal House, where they're busting up all the floats at the end of the movie.
That's awesome.
It's just like that. We stole a bunch of high school floats. They had a big wolf from the one of the Reno high schools. That was their mascot, and we stole that. And Cliff, we took him. We took the piano from the fraternity and put it on the back of the big trailer that had the float. He was playing the piano, and guys had trumpets and horns. And they're all just wasted out of their minds, including
what a fucking video that would be, huh?
Oh yeah, and we drove right downtown, right through the middle of the parade. So they have all the parades there. Wow. They have the Shriners doing all of their stuff and everything, and this just wiped out fraternity crew just goes right through the middle of it. So it was like,
it sounds amazing.
What were you asking, Lee, man?
I was asking. So these calls when they were coming in college, you were understanding per se. Was there ever a time when you were worried that Danny was going to be a lifetime loser?
Not a lifetime loser. I was just afraid what would come to him would be if he gets busted and gets arrested. Right. And one of the incidents, and I won't mention it, one of the incidents, I told him to shut up and don't have his friends talk about it and brag about it.
Right.
Because then they'd find out who did it. And he'd get in deep shit and be in jail. And so I just told him to shut the fuck up. So if he gets arrested, then he gets tagged with a felony. It alters your life forever. And so
hey, Mr. Mullen,
I got
King Croc.
I got one more. King Croc, I want you to be
I love your work, King Croc.
My dad wants
to
Nice. Hey, but one thing I want to say to Leo, because I think, Leo, there is a deeper answer to that. I remember a time. I'm sure you remember a time. I'm acting as if it happened when I was 3 years old. It was in 2015. We both remember this. I was up in Tahoe, and you had to come up to the cabin at 6 a.m. because I had thrown a trash can through the sliding glass window in a blackout. And I wasn't in college at this point. I was 26 or 27 years old.
Mostly 3 years old.
Getting down for a 3-year-old. But I remember you came, again, at 6 or 7 a.m., and you gave me a lecture, basically the tone of which was, you need to get your life together.
I did. Your story.
So, Leo, that kind of answers your question. But I will say, one thing I had going for me is that after my dad gave me the speech, he heard a woman stirring in the bedroom because I had shattered that sliding glass door for a good reason. I was locked out and I had a woman. You know how hard it is to seduce ladies out there, Dad?
And I told him about 50 times because he was too frozen in his hands to get the door open, to go sit in a restaurant and wait for me, and I'd drive up, but he couldn't follow those instructions. Let me tell the car. Go ahead. Finish.
Well, I was trying to get some pussy. Okay. You know, Leo, you fucking know, dude.
Can't blame the guy.
That was what happened. Yeah, we should back that one up. Is I brought a girl back. I can say this now, but I secured her from the. I have no memory of even the seduction process at all. My first memory was her and us Ubering. I will, but like that was my memory, just us Ubering back. She might have taken advantage of me, Father. I'm actually putting this out there so that if there are any younger legal professionals, it's sure. You want to end on the grand railroad story? And this guy is a high-powered attorney now, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, one of them was a prosecutor, one of them was a prominent defense attorney.
Wow.
But, I mean, they used to be governors.
You wear these shades when you tell the story. We'll make it funny.
Governors and people used to be members of this particular club, and they'd get you drunk and throw you on railroads, literally on railroad cars, and you wake up from Reno in the middle of Elko and stuff. Well, there's railroad tracks that go right downtown Reno. And but there's also tracks that come from the north, and there's north of Reno as you're headed up towards the top of the state. There's a place, Honey Lake, and on the way to that is a small little natural stream that goes into a dammed up area, and there's hot springs under it, and it's out by a town called Doyle, which is nowhere. It's just the middle of nowhere. And there's railroad trestle that goes right over this big pool that's dammed up water. It's middle of winter. It's all snowed up. College gals go out there. College guys go out there. It is common to find on the weekends. People literally have Jeeps with a keg on the back of their Jeep. The people are out there just drinking and getting drunk out of their minds. My friends, and keep in mind, there's railroads right above you, and it scares the living hell out of you. And back in those days, in the 70s, people were known to smoke pot, now like they do now, but it wasn't legal back then. Felony in Nevada. At any rate, guys be all loaded up on everything, and trains all of a sudden, because you couldn't hear it coming, would shake the ground and go over and scare the living hell out of you. My friends decide they're in their shorts, and they got a Jeep that's an open air Jeep in the middle of the winter, drunk out of their minds. So two guys in just their boxer shorts turn on the heat, blast it, and they got a 6-pack in the back of the truck, or probably a case of beer. They let the air out of their tires and put the Jeep on the railroad tracks, and they're a good 40 miles, 30 miles outside of town. So the tracks actually press up inside the rims of the tire with the air let out of the, not totally out, but mostly out of the tires. And they drive 30 or 40 miles on this track. They have no idea if a train is coming, or which direction, or way anything. So they drive all the way into town with their headlights, don't even have to steer. They're drinking beers, listening to music in their underpants in the middle of winter.
Oh, my God.
Just out of their mind. Just above town, the tracks cross the main highway that goes north of Reno. So the tires are not directed. They hit the pavement. They end up in a ditch. And so they're trying to rock and push the Jeep back up onto the pavement. Nevada Highway Patrolman sees them, assists them, puts it back up in the pavement, and drives away and lets them go. And these guys are ripped out of their minds. They put it back on the railroad tracks and drive right down into the Casino Row in the middle of town. True story. The next set of cops arrest them. They get hooked on that part.
See, there's a lot of kind of the younger crowd now. There's just no respect for the elders, and let this be a lesson to all you youngsters, Dino. You might think you're cool, but you didn't fucking throw water balloons out of a plane, motherfucker. You didn't put a Jeep on some tracks and get hammered and just go around the middle. You'll never do that.
I can still get a boner I have
Oh.
hair.
How dare you
Not
say that in the presence of
fat.
my
See, now
father?
he's talking shit. He's saying old people can't get boners and stuff. What an asshole do you know as?
Yeah, fucking my dad will visit your mom and prove it, bitch.
That's right, motherfucker.
Judicial officer gotta go. Hang on, guys.
Well, we don't want to take too much of your time, but we appreciate that.